17 years ago, I genuinely thought I had money figured out. I had a finance degree, I'd worked in banking, I could calculate compound interest faster than most people could order coffee. On paper, I was good with money. But here's what nobody tells you. Knowing financial theory and actually being good with your own money are two very different things. I understood how money worked, I just wasn't applying it in a way that actually improved my life. The habits that changed everything for me weren't complicated. No complex spreadsheets, no 40-tab budgeting system, just small shifts that stacked up over time. So let's talk about the simple habits that can quietly make you extremely financially literate in 2026. Nothing fancy, just things you can start today.
Habit number 1. Make your money match your priorities. This sounds obvious, but most people don't do it. For years, I spent money based on what I thought I should care about. Nice clothes I barely wore, expensive dinners because everyone else was going, random purchases that looked impressive but meant nothing to me. Then one day, I asked myself a blunt question. If someone looked at my bank statement, would they understand what actually matters to me? The answer was no. So I sat down and wrote my top 5 priorities. Time with people I love, health, learning, freedom, building something of my own. Then I compared that list with my spending. Huge gap. I was funding convenience and social pressure. I wasn't funding my real life. So I changed it. More money toward books and courses, better quality food, gym membership I actually used, investing consistently, less money toward things I didn't care about. The weird part? I didn't spend more overall. I just redirected, and I felt richer. Not because my income changed, but because my money started reflecting who I actually was. Try this. Write down your 5 priorities. Then look at your last 30 days of spending. Don't judge it, just observe. Where's the mismatch? Closing that gap is where financial literacy really begins.
Habit number 2. Have a monthly money date. This one sounds almost silly. It's not. Once a month, block 30 minutes. Just you and your numbers. No TV in the background, no scrolling. I do 3 things. First, I review my spending. Where did it go? Anything surprising? Any patterns creeping in? Second, I check progress. Am I moving toward my goals or just staying busy? Third, and this is the important part, I choose one focus for the next 30 days. Not 10 goals, not a complete life overhaul. One thing. Maybe it's saving an extra $200. Maybe it's increasing investments by 1%. Maybe it's cutting takeaway spending in half. One clear target. When you try to fix everything at once, your brain shuts down. When you focus on one simple improvement, you actually follow through. Think of it like going to the gym. If you say, I'm going to transform my entire body this month, you'll quit. If you say, I'll go twice a week, you'll show up. Money works the same way.
Habit number 3. Automate the boring stuff. Willpower is unreliable. Systems are not. Before I automated my finances, I always meant to transfer money to savings. I meant to invest. I meant to stay on top of bills. Then life happened. By the end of the month, whatever was left over went to savings, which usually meant nothing. Automation fixes that. Bills leave automatically after payday. A set amount moves to savings immediately. Investments happen without me thinking about them. The decision gets made once, then it runs in the background. You remove emotion, you remove forgetfulness, you remove the I'll do it later trap. Start small. Automate one thing this week. Maybe it's a $100 automatic transfer to savings. You'll feel the mental relief instantly. Habit number 4. Start investing early, even if it's small.
People wait too long because they think they need thousands to begin. You don't. What matters most isn't the amount, it's the time. Low-cost index funds that track the market are a simple place to start. You're not trying to outsmart Wall Street. You're just participating in long-term growth. When I started, it felt uncomfortable watching money leave my account every month. My brain kept saying, you could use that now.
But here's what changed everything. I stopped seeing investing as losing money. I started seeing it as paying my future self. Even $50 or $100 invested consistently builds the habit, and the habit is more powerful than the initial amount. Time does the heavy lifting. Habit number 5. Learn one thing. Act on it immediately. Most people consume financial content like entertainment. They watch videos, they nod along, they feel productive. Then nothing changes. From now on, every time you learn something about money, act on one small piece of it that same day. Hear about a better savings account? Open it. Learn a budgeting method that makes sense. Set it up tonight. Discover you should check your credit score? Do it now. Even something simple like increasing your retirement contribution by 1% counts. Progress doesn't come from information, it comes from implementation. One small action per week is 52 improvements a year. That adds up fast. Habit number 6. Talk about money. I used to avoid money conversations completely. It felt awkward, private, almost rude. But here's the irony. Most people believe talking about money is important. Most people also never do it, so we all struggle quietly. When I started having honest conversations with people I trust, everything changed. I'd ask friends what they were investing in. I'd talk openly with my partner about income and goals. I'd compare salary ranges with colleagues. Not in a competitive way, in a curious way. You realize quickly that everyone has questions. Everyone has made mistakes. Everyone is figuring it out. Try a soft opener next time you're with a friend. I've been trying to improve how I handled money. What's worked for you? You don't need to share exact numbers. Just start the conversation. It makes money feel less scary, less isolating. Habit number 7. Train yourself to value the long term. We live in a world built for instant gratification. Click, buy, delivered tomorrow. Building wealth is slow, quiet, sometimes boring. When I first started investing seriously, it felt like sacrifice. Watching money leave my account for something I wouldn't touch for decades wasn't exciting. So I reframed it. Instead of thinking I'm missing out, I started thinking I'm building options. Every dollar invested was future freedom, more choices, less stress. I would literally picture myself 5 or 10 years ahead. What kind of life did I want? What would that version of me thank me for doing today? When you think that way, skipping an impulse purchase doesn't feel like punishment. It feels like self-respect. Delayed gratification isn't about suffering. It's about protecting your future. Habit number 8. Spend money on skills. This one changed my income more than anything else. For a long time, I hesitated to pay for learning. I'd tell myself I could find everything for free online. Sometimes that's true, but paying for the right skill can shortcut years of trial and error. I once struggled badly with admin in my business. Invoices everywhere, tracking payments was messy. It drained time and energy. Instead of wrestling with it for months, I paid someone who knew exactly what they were doing to build a system. Problem solved in a week. That decision freed up hours every month, hours I could use to grow income instead of organizing spreadsheets. If you spend $500 learning a skill that increases your earning power by $1,000 a year, that's not an expense. That's leverage. The key is intention. Don't buy random courses you'll never finish. Choose skills that clearly move you forward. If you can't explain how it helps your future, don't buy it. Markets go up and down. Jobs change. Companies fail. Your skills stay with you. That's real security. Let me leave you with this. Financial literacy isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware and consistent. Small adjustments, repeated. Align your spending with your values. Check in monthly. Automate the basics. Invest early. Act on what you learn. Talk openly. Think long-term. Build skills. None of this is flashy, but done together, it quietly transforms your life. And if there's a voice in your head saying, I know I could be doing better with my money, listen to it. You don't need a complete reset, just one better decision this week. A few disciplined choices now can create options for the rest of your life. That's the game. Start small, stay consistent, let time do the rest. As always, I'm Sam, sharing the lessons I learned the hard way so you don't have to.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.